Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have some beautiful news. Pagani to stick with the beautiful V12 engine. The internal combustion engine lives on in the glory of the V12. A very rare thing these days, I believe, in terms of, well, they're not really a commercial product in terms of a mass manufacturer, but in terms of car companies, I mean, BMW used to be iconic for it. Obviously, the McLaren F1, the best car in history. But really, you have Pagani and Aston Martin, thank God, has a V12 with a stick shift, even more beautiful. But there's really not as many as they used to be. Now, this comes with this thing, obviously, everyone wants to tune in the show and watch me. Of course, I'm so handsome, obviously. Ha, that's a joke. But seriously, let's get that beautiful Pagani on the screen here. And I've only gotten to see one in person in my lifetime, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The particular one I saw was, it was a Pagani Utopia, and it was carbon, obviously it's all carbon fiber, but it was actually purple tinted. Or it was a purple color. It was immaculate. I think the guy spent like a year building it or configuring it and going to Italy, telling him what he wants. It cost about like $4 million plus. I can't mention the registration fees on that alone. But yeah, a moving work of art. Now go ahead and pull this up. This is by Jared Perez over there. And he says, Horacio Pagani is sticking with the V12s because no one wants a hybrid. And it's a rare thing. He says, the logic for building a V12 still and not doing a hybrid or electric supercar is simple. Quote, we have to build what the customer wants to buy. Well, also because they're a small enough company, the government isn't pushing them or bullying them like they are with major manufacturers who have high volumes of products. And that's why you see less and less great V8s in America these days and more EVs and hybrids. But I partially digress. I could stare at that picture all day long. Not the part of the video with me, the Pagani in it. I mean, just the exhaust, just the quad exhaust alone with that rear. And if you could zoom in, I mean, you could see the beautiful carbon fiber weave. And they say, quote, when it came time to develop Pagani Hyra's successor, the engine was the first and most important component to figure out. Horacio Pagani and his team worked closely with Mercedes-AMG to develop the motor that made the most sense, a twin-turbo V8 hybrid. However, it quickly became obvious that electrifying Modena's newest hypercar added too much weight and ruined the family recipe, though there's even heftier reason why hybrid Pagani wouldn't see the light of day. Utopia was ultimately unveiled in September 2022, powered by what would become Pagani's middle finger to the industry, a 6-liter twin-turbo V12. It produces 852 horsepower, and I told myself I wouldn't cry. It can come with a manual transmission, also known as having 3 pedals, also known as the best way to drive a vehicle bar none. I cannot recommend it enough. I mean, if you have the capabilities, the finances to get a new car or a used car with a stick shift, I go out and do it today. You won't regret it. Even for the folks who say, oh, I'm in bumper-to-bumper traffic, for an hour. Well, one, you'll pay more attention to the road, thereby decreasing the odds that you're going to be in an accident. But, I mean, the best things in life, they're worth fighting for. And getting a little exercise for our legs, they aren't going to hurt us too much these days. There you can see the top-down image of that beautiful engine. They say, no electric motors, no batteries, as Horacio Pagani explained when unveiling the Utopia Roadster. He said his lack of customer interest put the final nail in the coffin. He said, quote, in reality, no one is interested in a hybrid car. And I have hybrids in my collection. I have a Porsche 918 and a few more. But when it's time for me to take the Porsche out for a spin, I'll take my 911R or Carrera GT. Awesome. Again, the Carrera GT had a V10 and a stick shift. Basically took a race car engine into and just threw it in a commercial vehicle. And yeah, thanks to the EPA, you can't really do that too much these days. Hopefully that gets curtailed sometime soon. He continued to say, quote, our clients think along the lines of, I believe that if you ask people, most of them will say the hybrid is coming. It's something extraordinary because it has the problems of an electric car and problems of a combustion car. True. With the current AMG V12 in the Utopia Coupe, the Roadster has developed to meet worldwide regulations, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel when introduce a hybrid or even a full electric Pagani. The Argentinian visionary explained back in 2017 the entire team was assembled to explore these propulsion systems, but once again, the combination of a severe weight penalty and lack of customer interest brought that to an end. He continued to say, quote, the hybrid V8 was considered, but the car was just too heavy. 200 or 500 kilos more, and our clients don't want anything to do with it. We have to build what the client is going to buy from us. 2017, we built a team to work on EV. The whole team was focused and excited, including myself. And we defined the concept for this car and got to work with Mercedes-AMG and other partners. We even started to work with Lucid, which had been excellent technology in the worlds of EVs. Debatable. But that's when it happened. Customers weren't interested. Here you can see it's probably more engineering than just that one tire on that vehicle than an entire mass-produced Nissan or GM product. You can do say, quote, "It's not about being stubborn or whether it's electric or hybrid. These are all fresh challenges for us. Pagani is a family, and we don't have the massive automaker conglomerate behind us. We have to build what the customer really wants, aka we can't afford to take losses for years like our competitors. And we have lots of technology to rapidly pivot if the customer does happen to change." You see an exploded view. You can actually see the frunk and the trunk popped open there, as well as the cool gull-wing doors, or the, let's see here. Some good news. See that all day long. It is a nice contrarian to the whole automotive industry. And again, I'm still shocked to this day that they're coming out with a stick shift for the Pagani. I mean, think about it. If you want a V12 with a stick shift, and what is one of those? Oh, now it's considered vintage. The Lamborghinis from back in the day, like 2000. What was it? The LP640 is going for like $1 million if you want a stick shift V12 Lamborghini. And what are your other options? McLaren F1s are going for 20+ million. Now you do have Gordon Murray's latest iteration, but those are still 3 to 4 million. So, granted, this is just expensive, but it's so rare to find that. Really, Aston Martin's the only, if you want to consider that, in terms of volume, it's much more of a high volume business than other super luxury vehicles. But it's so rare to have that. And in a world of companies just, making things because the accountants told them to, because the government told them to, it's becoming more rare to just have a company where they just listen to the customer feedback and they make such beautiful works of art. So a little bit of good news in the automotive industry. You don't hear that often. There's so many changes, and some are good, some are bad, but it's a little bit of good news today. So let me know. Do you think Pagani will ever? I mean, maybe they'll do a V16 one. No, I'm just kidding. I know Bugatti's doing the V16. I know it's automatic only. Yeah. But yeah, let me know how many of these bespoke automotive manufacturers will continue this trend or debunk the trend of EVs and hybrids. Because again, I mean, Porsche, their quote unquote supercar, again, it's the hybrid technologies, which, don't get me wrong, they still sold out. People bought them left and right. But how many, and again, this is by no means a true analog car. I mean, it's still got much technology, don't get me wrong, but how many more simplistic designed vehicles like this relative to, to hybrids and EVs do you think we'll have left? And do you think anyone will actually follow them down their path? A lot of the big boys, I mean, Lamborghini, all those guys, they're having hybrids, they're killing their V12s to make V10s and V8s with the electric motors bolted on there. But let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.